7 mistakes are quietly costing RV owners thousands of dollars, and not one happens at the factory. They happen in the driveway at the campsite in the last 30 seconds before pulling out. Owners keep telling the same stories: a fridge that dumps its shelves, a hitch that lets go mid-drive, a drive shaft that snaps off and spins down the freeway. None of it is really bad luck. It's the same habits repeating no matter the brand or how long someone has towed. Scroll through any RV owner forum for more than a few minutes and you'll see the same handful of stories getting told over and over again, usually starting with, "I can't believe I did this," and ending with a repair bill nobody planned for. Most owners rely on muscle memory instead of checking anything, which is why the mistake they bring up most doesn't look dangerous at all. It just smells terrible. The first mistake that owners consistently report more than any other is the black tank valve. Owners leave that valve cracked open at the campsite instead of fully closed, thinking it drains cleaner that way. It does the opposite. Solids dry and pack against the gate instead of flushing out. The next time that tank fills and gets dumped, the pressure sends it spraying back through loose hose connections and worn seals. That means sewage on your hands, your driveway, the neighbor's site, and a fitting that needs replacing. Keep doing it, and the tank sensors clog permanently and your gauge starts lying. A new hose and fittings run $50 to $150, but a contaminated site can get you asked to leave, deposit gone. This happens to owners who have been camping for 20 years, not just beginners. Some campgrounds have started posting signs specifically about this after cleaning up one too many messes left by experienced owners who should have known better. Keep the valve closed the whole stay. Only open it fully when the tank is nearly full, so gravity and volume do the flushing instead of a slow trickle. It is not a plumbing defect, it is a habit defect, and it costs you the moment you forget it. The next mistake does not smell bad at all, it just ends up all over your kitchen floor. Right behind it in owner complaints is the fridge door. Most RV refrigerators use a simple latch, not a true travel lock, and every turn tests it. When it fails, jars, sauces, and eggs launch across the cabin, shelving cracks, and sometimes the door swings hard enough to knock the whole unit out of alignment. Do this a few times and the door seal warps, so your fridge starts working harder and cooling worse for the rest of its life. Cleanup alone can run you a wasted travel day and a costly restock of broken shelving and spoiled food. Owners describe walking in after a long drive to a floor covered in broken glass, spoiled milk, and shattered eggs, and having to clean it all up before they can even start unpacking for the trip. Even trailers with a proper travel lock still fail this test because the lock only works if someone engages it before pulling out. Some owners now add a travel bar across the door as backup, cheap insurance against a fridge full of broken glass. It takes 5 seconds to check. It saves you a costly, avoidable mess. If a spilled fridge sounds bad, wait until you hear what happens underneath the trailer. Wheel chocks are small rubber wedges that plenty of owners forget to grab. Leveling blocks alone are not locked in place, so on any slope or soft ground the trailer can creep forward or backward right off them. That uneven shift puts stress on your stabilizer jacks and frame mounts, and it has caught a hand or a foot during re-leveling more than once. Do this repeatedly, and those jacks slowly bend out of alignment, turning a $2 chock into a repair bill. It happens most on gravel or slope sites, the ones that look stable but are not, since a site that looks flat to the eye can still have enough of a grade to let a trailer creep once the blocks shift even slightly. The rule owners swear by: chocks go down before the leveling blocks come out every time. Forgetting a part outside your trailer is annoying. Forgetting the part underneath it is expensive. That underneath part is the tongue jack, and this is where owners start losing real money. Drive off with the stabilizer or tongue jack even partly extended, and it drags on the pavement, bending or shearing straight through the rear step and its mount. Sometimes it tears wiring, and on gooseneck setups it can come close enough to brake lines to matter. A bent step you can see, a cracked weld behind it you cannot, and it shows up later under load. Repairs land anywhere from $150 to $800 depending on whether it is cosmetic or structural. This is not one unlucky trailer. Owners across different brands report the exact same mistake, which tells you it is a habit problem, not a manufacturing one. A quick walk around the trailer before pulling out catches this every time. That covers 4 expensive lessons. If you have already learned one of these the hard way, hit subscribe, because the next 2 are the ones owners call the scary ones. Fewer owners mention the breakaway cable and hitch pin, but read the stories and you understand why it still made this list. Loop that cable too loose or seat that pin only partway, and road vibration can walk the pin right out. Or the slack cable can snag and trigger the breakaway brake while you are still driving. In the worst version, the trailer separates entirely while you are unhitching it, rolling free with nothing controlling it. Even a near miss bends the hitch receiver enough to hide a future failure from a casual look. Replacing a hitch and brake actuator gets expensive fast, and if that trailer rolls into someone else's vehicle, the bill becomes the least of your problems. Give the cable only enough slack to turn, seat the pin fully, then tug both by hand before pulling onto the road. This one is reported less, but it is not rare. What is rare is walking away able to tell the story. The last two mistakes on this list are not about hookup at all. They are about what you loaded and what you drove away on. Tires come up constantly in these stories too, and this one fools people because it happens while the trailer is just sitting still. Sun and ozone slowly crack the rubber from the outside in during storage, long before the tread wears down. The tire looks fine, passes a glance, sometimes even a paid inspection, and then fails at highway speed and heat, tearing into your fender and wiring. One owner reported exactly that. A blowout that happened after paying someone to check the tires and getting a clean bill of health anyway. That is because tread depth was never the problem. The real number to check is the date code stamped into the sidewall, not the miles on the odometer. New tires run $100 to $450 each, depending on size and load rating, plus a tow if it fails on the road. Most manufacturers recommend replacement around 5 to 7 years from that date code, no matter how much tread remains, and that number surprises a lot of owners who assume tread depth is the only thing that matters. The tire never lied about its mileage, it lied about its age, and that brings us to a mistake reported almost as often as the tank valve. This one ends with a drive shaft spinning down the freeway behind someone else's truck. Load a trailer past its rated weight, whether it is water, gear, or cargo, and you are pushing the axle and drivetrain past what they were built to handle. That stress does not announce itself. It builds quietly, trip after trip, until something finally gives. One owner described watching the drive shaft physically snap and roll off down the highway, a hazard to every car behind him. Repairing a drive shaft and differential after that runs $800 to $2,500. And if that piece of metal causes a wreck behind you, the liability outlasts the repair bill. This owner passed every single visual check before leaving. Nothing looked wrong because the math was wrong, not the appearance. Weight distribution matters just as much as total weight, since a trailer loaded unevenly can be within its rated limit overall and still stress one axle far more than the other. The fix is knowing your actual loaded weight, not the number on a sticker, which means a trip across a public scale before a big trip, not a guess. The RV did not fail. The math did. Look back at all 7 and you will notice something. None of them are about a bad trailer or a cursed brand. Every single one comes down to a step that takes less than a minute, skipped by someone in a hurry to get on the road. Those same driveway and campsite stories from the start of this video are not proof of bad RVs. They are proof of good ones that failed at hookup, not at the factory. Before your next trip, walk the same 7 points every time. Check that the black tank valve is fully closed. Confirm the fridge is latched. Chocks under the wheels before you level. Jack fully retracted before you move an inch. Hitch pin seated and breakaway cable snug with a quick glance at the tire date codes and your total weight. That is the whole system, and it costs you nothing but 5 minutes. The trailer never breaks on its own. Someone skips a step first. Every one of these 7 mistakes shows up again and again in owner forums, told by beginners and 20-year veterans alike, which is really the whole point. Experience alone does not protect you from a skip step, only the habit of checking does. Tell me in the comments below which one of these 7 you have already learned the hard way.